Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Switchcraft and Switchery, and it's been a while, but I'm glad to be back. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Mario Tennis game, Mario Tennis Fever, that's coming for the Switch 2. So without further ado, let's kind of get into what we're seeing here about this game. So if you've ever played any of the Mario sports games, you'll be pretty familiar with the formula that Nintendo uses. Stuff with Strikers or even the previous title Mario Aces. It's just your standard kind of sports game with a little bit of Nintendo flair. When this title was first announced, I gotta admit, they start showing random stuff on screen like just basic tennis lobs and things like that. Didn't seem that interesting to me, but as the trailer goes on, man, I got more and more excited about this game. It just starts to look really fun. And in that classic Nintendo fashion, they seem to take something that is just super simple here and just add more and more flavor and flair till it becomes almost its own kind of unique thing, right? It's bigger than just tennis anymore. So the first thing that we kind of see here that's setting Fever apart from some of the previous titles is the addition of these Fever Rackets. It's kind of the classic take on the Mario power-up. You get the Fire Flower, you can shoot a fireball. Here you pick up a flaming Fever Racket, and now you can have adverse effects against your opponents, do damage, things like that. It looks like there's a pretty healthy variety too of Fever Rackets and what they can do. You can get things that make you faster so that you won't miss a shot, maybe some things that might hit multiple versions of you on the court. That looks like Nintendo's done a good job of trying to add a lot of variety, and they said that they've got about 30 different rackets. Like that's pretty good. Who knows if they'll all be super different, but just the fact that they've got that high of a number for all these power-ups is going to add a lot of fun and chaos into the game. So along with these Fever Rackets, you also get like HP, and your racket has like a health bar as well for usage. So as you're doing these attacks, it's going to be important to parry your opponent's hits, because you can actually send their attacks back on them. But if you're not successful and you start losing all your HP, at least in a doubles match, once you lose all that HP, you have to sit out and recover, and that could make a huge difference in the match of your opponent now basically being 2-on-1 and having a major advantage. In the single player matches, it looked like you slow down, right? So again, that would be a massive advantage of now your opponent's operating at full speed and they could potentially score for that round. So we've got a pretty healthy roster in this game. They said 38 unique characters, and including some new ones that haven't been in Nintendo games before, like Baby Waluigi. That's pretty awesome. But we also see that we get, Donkey and Diddy Kong, which we don't even have in Mario Kart World. So to see these characters be brought in and kind of have this cool stacked unique roster is going to give the ability for you to choose your favorite character from the Nintendo verse and have a lot of fun. So I had no doubt in my mind, this being a tennis game, that Nintendo wasn't going to include motion controls with the Joy-Cons. And it looks like they've actually got a bunch of unique moves and motions that I'm actually really excited to learn. I like playing tennis on Switch Sports and just hacking at things, it's super fun. And I'm really excited to see how the different motions will translate into what looks like some cool moves like dives and, some strike downs and things like that. So that looks to be really exciting and an opportunity to have a lot of fun with people while moving. So something I did want to touch on here is all the different modes that it looks like this game has. You've got everything from tournament play to trick shots and tutorials and boss battles. It just, to me, it feels like the classic Nintendo experience where they take a simple concept but give you just so many different ways to enjoy doing more than just the same thing. It's kind of almost like the opposite of what we got with Mario Kart World, where it's you have one or two modes, but the battle modes, for instance, feel like an afterthought. And that doesn't, at least off the trailer, seem like the case here. It's you can enjoy the core function of the game, or you can go out and explore multiple different ways to have fun with tennis. So being a Mario sports title, you kind of expect that we're going to have 4-player co-op, and we do. But one thing I didn't see coming was the inclusion of GameShare. So, you can take this and you'll be able to play this game with someone with a Switch Lite or a regular Switch, and a Switch 2, of course. But, I've had a lot of fun utilizing GameShare with like family and coworkers, and it also like doesn't leave those users out in the cold to join in on the fun when everybody gets together at like a work party. If somebody has something, they can just join in, and it's been a really cool feature to see, and I'm glad that Nintendo's moving forward with this with a new title. So to wrap things up, I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I first saw Fever was coming out, I was kind of like, do we really need another Mario Tennis? Like, it feels like Aces just came out, and like they couldn't have done something else like baseball, hint hint. I know Jeremy's been talking about that for a while, but after watching the trailer, this just feels like a true return to form Nintendo game. Like, it's a simple concept that you can play with your friends locally, wirelessly, online, and have, it looks like a lot of fun. There's so many different ways to play, plus you get the inclusion of motion controls that just seem to be a staple of what Nintendo does pretty well at this point. So while this is not the game I'm going to be rushing to the store to get morning of as soon as it hits shelves, it's definitely one that's going to be added to the Switch 2 library. So will you be picking up Fever? Let us know down in the comments below, and if you like this content, like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff, and we'll see you next time here on Switchcraft and Switchery.